So what we're going to do now is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go to OBS, which is right here. Okay, so I'm going to go up here and go to the test screen. So right now it's basically, and I'm going to turn off my camera right there, just to remove that real quick, so that way you can definitely show you things. So basically, remove that. I was playing around with it a little bit earlier, so so you'll see what I'm talking about. So when you download OBS, this is basically what you'll have at first. You'll have like a blank screen, blank canvas, and you'll have, just a nice little slide out for you right there. So you have your controls on one side, and that's just where you can do your settings. You start virtual camera, you can do your recording, because one of the things about OBS is that you can record with it. And that's one of the best parts that I like, is because if you don't want to record on, say, Zoom, and you just want to record your own personal session, then you can. So you can actually start recording on that. If you want to stream on Facebook Live, if you want to stream on Twitter or Twitch or on YouTube, you can just do that right there. And then once you do that, you have to make sure you put the keys in, like the streaming keys from those sites. So the first things first is that we want to do is you want to add your camera onto here. So you go down here to sources, and then you click on the plus button right here. And you want to scroll up, and you want to go to this button right here. So it says video capture device. You want to make sure you click on that one. A screen will pop up. And from here, you can type in whatever your name you want. I'm going to call this camera 1. And we're going to click OK on that. So now you're going to have a new screen pop up right here. And this is where you can configure it to your liking. If you know what your resolution is, this is what resolution does. So I'm going to move this over here. So this right here is where you can pick your resolution. It picks the size of the screen right here. So if you want to click on custom, then you click on here. And like I said, if you know your resolution, you can definitely pick any one of these things. I go over here, and that's I go for 1920 1080, and this is what I meant by size. For time being, though, we will stick with the default. So right there, we're going to click OK, and then we're going to over here. So if you want to increase the sizes, you can actually use these nubs. That's what, right here on the sides. So you can go like that, and you can definitely increase the size so that it picks up the full screen. That's where resolution comes into play, because that way you don't have to worry about having it going outside. So, and then you can move this thing around, obviously. So you can go like this, and you can set yourself on the screen. And actually, it works pretty well too. It's if you're doing something like, say, for example, you want to have, like, if you want to put yourself on the side, then you have room to put pictures on the side for yourself, to have, advertisements and GIFs or something like that. If you want to have fun having something on the side, that's always good. So the next step we want to do is we want to set up our pictures. The same thing can happen. You do the same thing, basically. You go around here, you click the plus sign, and you go into the list of many things, and you look for image. And you want to click on that. And then we're going to call this one, let's call it test image. Let's go that way. So next we click OK. And now we get to pick our images. So from here, I can go down to desktop. I'm going to click on this right here. So I already got a couple images on here. Next, we want to click on this one. And now we got the logo. And same thing you can do with your camera, you can do with this right here. So you can actually increase or decrease the size to what you want. If you want to have a Toastmaster head, you can definitely do that. And the best part about OBS is that you don't need a green screen to have something in front of you. Because if you want it in the back of you, you go like this, it scrolls down, and that's basically what it is, what it does. So and I'll get to that a little bit, but for the time being, you want this in front of you, because if you don't have if you don't have a green screen like I do, then you want to have that picture in front of you, so you can interact a little bit more, easily. So it's very good for people who don't have a green screen, but you want to still use this feature, because now you have more of interaction with stuff like that. The other thing you can do is you want to group them, is you can highlight them all. So like I just did right there. And then you want to right click, and you can go to group items. And let's say we want to call this test 1 group. And the best part about that one is that now you have the opportunity to click on not all of them at once. So you have this eye that you can make things appear and disappear. So by clicking that, you can make things appear and disappear. And bringing us down, now you can go individually. So you can get rid of that test picture right there. And you definitely do that as well. Another feature you can do with OBS is you can actually make multiple scenes that you want. So you go over here, you click on plus, and now you can make a scene too. So let's call this one, we'll just call it scene 2. So you click on scene 2, and then you go, and then you do the same thing basically. If you bring the picture back up, and so video capture device, and so you click the camera you want, and where's my, oh wait, I screwed it up. Or did I? There we go. So lucky enough, I have 2 cameras hooked up. But anyway, so you pick the camera right there. And one of the things that I messed up on was that I forgot to mention that when you click on this one here, you actually do have add existing camera right here. So you can click this, and you can actually add an existing camera. So you can have camera 1 right there. So sorry about that. So in that one right there, you can definitely do a lot of things with. One of the best features I like about this too is that you can actually add a mask. So I'm going to show you here in a bit. I'm going to increase the zoom. So right up here now you have filters, and you can definitely add anything you want. So we're going to go to mask, image mask blend. I'm just going to leave it as is. And now how this works is that you need to have a image that has black and white. So the black area is what's going to be deleted, and the white area is what's going to be shown. So lucky enough, I already have that already. It's right here. So we're going to click on this, open that, and we're going to click OK. And there we go. So now I am a cartoon version of Porky Pig. And as I live in COVID, I'm eventually going to look like that. So,
Dan,
hello.
Can we ask questions as we go, or are you just kind of giving us an overview, and then we're going to come back to some of these things?
Oh, no, you can definitely ask questions as we go.
Okay, I kind of missed the scene one. Why would you use scenes? Okay,
so scenes basically is that scenes are very good. So if you want to, say, transition from one place to the other, like, say, for example, you're doing a presentation for PowerPoint. So I'm going to show you what I have already for a presentation-wise. So as you see, this is what I did for my one presentation. And this is where I do a lot of things. So if I want to do a title screen, I can definitely do that. And I can have myself a little camera right down there. But when I go into the other scene, I don't have to fiddle around with the camera because it's already set up for me.
Gotcha. So you create these ahead of time so that when you're live or doing the show, it's just flipping back and forth between them.
Exactly. And that way it just makes it easier. So that way you're not fiddling around with it on on the spot. So
yeah, and you kind of like I tried that second scene, and it looked like it didn't save the sources I already added. So it's like every time you create a scene, you have to input your sources again.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, because and I'll actually go back to the test thing and I'll show you, because I'm going to just get rid of this real quick. So as you said, you do have to re-add the sources again. So when you go this, like I said, you have to click video capture device. And then if you have like first scene and if everything's all set up, you click the add existing. And then like I said, on scene 1, we have a camera 1. So we want to click on camera 1. And that gives us this. And lucky enough, it saved the mask for us, because in camera 1, the mask is still there. So that's actually one of the things that the...
I see that now. Yeah. Like, so I can grab, even if I already uploaded pictures, I could just add the existing into the scene.
Exactly. And then if you have masks with them, you don't have to worry about putting the mask back on. It's automatically back right there. And obviously, if you want to add like more pictures, you can. You can add GIFs. You can add a whole bunch of different little things on there.
Cool, thank you.
And like I said, this is all kind of, it's all fun, like especially when you get into it right there, right? You can, because on things that you can do is like you have a scene transition right here. So if you want to have like a millisecond, so durations. So as you can see, that's actually a fast transition. But the other thing you can do is you can definitely go like this, and it gives you a nice fading effect. I usually like having it on 300, which is what I automatically set to anyways. But I find that it's pretty good. So type in 300, and I gives you that nice little fade in and fade out effect too. So, and of course, you want to, if you want to add like a swipe, slides, like all this other stuff for here, you can. I usually just like fading, because I think fading looks kind of cool. So one of the things though, so once you get this all set up though, one of the important things, and I should have mentioned earlier, is that in order to add this onto your Zoom, because now that you got your camera all set up, now you have everything, let's say the way you wanted it, one of the things you want to do is definitely add this to Zoom. So what you want to do is make sure if you got the virtual camera downloaded, is go to Tools and click on Virtual Camera. And then from there, what you want to make sure is that this right here, Auto Start, is clicked. And then, so if it's not, then it won't work. But make sure it's clicked on, and then you click the X button up here.
Sorry, Dan, I don't have virtual camera in my tools. Is that because I'm...
Did you download virtual camera?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things right there, because you can. The other thing you can do is if you can definitely use this button right here to start virtual camera if you want to. The only issue I found with that one is that if you have a different profile, and I'll be talking about this a little bit later on in the intermediate section, but if you have a different profile, you won't be able to interact with that at all. Just a heads up on that.
Question, Dan, is this only for Zoom, or can I use this on Teams?
You can definitely use this on, I believe, Teams. You can use this on, WebEx? Yeah, WebEx. I've used it on WebEx myself as well already. Basically, as soon as you download that virtual camera, OBS becomes, you get a little thing in the choose your camera thing, to camera, called OBS Camera. And so if you're in Teams, you'll get the same thing. If you're in WebEx, you'll get that same choice as well.
Yeah.
So, and I'll show you what I mean in a second too. So I'm going to go over to Zoom. So you can see my Zoom, right? Just to be clear.
Yeah, we see your participant screen. We see everything in Zoom.
Okay. So what you want to do now is you want to click on the Zoom right here. And this is what I meant. So you want to make sure this is clicked on. So OBS camera. I have multiple cameras because I'm weird that way. So, but when you're installing it, you get an option to have how many cameras you want. I clicked 4. I don't know why. Just because. But you want to make sure this is clicked on though. And then that way you start broadcasting into Zoom. And then from there, but if, like I said, though, if you don't have the virtual camera downloaded and installed just yet, then you can click on the start virtual camera. Because then that way, from there, what you can do is you can then click on OBS virtual camera and use it that way. But once you do that, though, you're going to have to kind of reset your Zoom and then join back in. So that way it takes. And then that way you can start using, like I said, you can start using Zoom and OBS at the same time. So once you get all that set up and you're live and you're on Zoom, now you can definitely play around with your heart's content to whatever you want. So you can, you still interact with everything on here. And if you have the group thing right here, you can move around everything. And that's the best part I like about having groups set up, is that if you have something set up in a certain way that you like, you can actually go like this and start moving things around to anywhere you want with everything without actually messing up the order you have things. You can even shrink it down to like that. So that's one of the things I like about OBS, is that you basically are the painter, you're the artist, and this scenes and the sources, that's your canvas. And you're the live action painting figure. Does anyone else have any questions?
I have a question, Dan. I'm not getting yet quite the purpose of using OBS for a presentation.
Well, with OBS as a presentation, so as you can see, I'm going to go back to the one scene I had, so my presentation thing right there. So if you were to do a presentation like this, right?
Okay.
It just makes it more, it makes it pop out more, and it makes you more lively. So, when I was doing my presentation one time, I'm able to go like this and go like, time is money. And, you can just be more interactive with it and do all those sort of things. And, you can just, and that's what I mean. Like, so if you had a PowerPoint presentation, then you can definitely, you go to like PowerPoint right here, and then obviously I have another camera set up down here, and I can just pretty much go like this. I can.
This is awesome.
And that way you don't have to. That way you don't have to use the Zoom share screen in here.
Mm.
Now you can actually share up here, and you can actually be more interactive with your presentation. You can go and you can say like, oh look, this is what I want, and then you can say like, okay, you're not really getting what I'm saying, and you move your camera over here, and you can go like, I'm talking about this. Right.
Wow.
and then oops, and then you can you can I keep clicking the wrong one. There we go. And you can just go and you can move things around and whatnot too. So that way.
When you do that, and you have shared your screen now, do you see what we see? Or okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because this is, I find, if you share screen and show something, I feel always disconnected from the people who are listening. So this way, this is easier.
Yeah, because one of the things I kind of wish I had was a second screen, because then that way, because as you can tell, like when I'm like on the OBS versus Zoom, I'm like if I move this way on Zoom, I'm pointing in a different direction. So it gets a little disorienting, but if you get once you get practice with it and you start getting used to it, you can start doing this. And one of the things I like about this too is that you can use this as a back screen. So I'm going to turn that off, and I'll like I said, I'm going to show you how to use chroma key later on in another session. But for now, we're going to stick with this. So one of the things you can definitely do is if you want to have your presentation in your background, your camera is just your camera, right? So that way, so you don't have to have a virtual background or green screen to interact with your PDF. Now you can be interactive with the PDF and go, like, okay, this is what that is, and so on and so forth, and so on and whatnot. And you can still move your camera around to give you that nice eye-popping feature. So if I were going back to time is money, so like that, for example, I can go like time is money, and you still get that pop, that interactivity, and you can definitely see what the audience sees with what you're doing with this.
That's great. Thanks.
And you can also use this just for recording in the OBS studio to create videos, correct?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah,
so you hit start recording. You could even stream live from here.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like I said, it's like I'm trying to think of a good term, but I guess a poor man's video studio.
Right.
You have it all at your fingertips on that right there. If you want to make a mini play, you can, and you can change scenes. And as I told you before, as you asked before, is that you can make scenes, set them up previously, and you can make yourself like a nice little play. I'm not going to admit it, but I probably did make a puppet show at one point in time with this thing. And it worked out great though. You have little puppets here and there, and you can interact and make little scenes.
Wow.
Dan, I got a question, and this may be coming up in the more advanced sessions, and if it is, just let me know. But I'm confused. If I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation and I click to the next screen or to the next slide, do I also have to have OBS open and click in here as well?
No, because because basically how you're going to do it is if you have, say, a presentation open. Unfortunately, I don't have a PowerPoint on right now. But if you're doing that, then what you want to do is you want to actually make sure you have this minimized a little bit so you can still see. But then you have your PowerPoint on the other side, over here. And then you kind of use, like I use a mouse. But what you can do is that if you have a little that little button, basically, now you can interact with it, and you can scroll back. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then that way you can just click on the next button, select slide, and so on and so forth.
So when you click on the next slide, that doesn't click to the next scene in OBS. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, if you're like I said, if you're in OBS, right? And if you're in OBS is in the front, you won't be able to interact with your slide, like your PowerPoint presentation within OBS. You have to pretty much have OBS on the sideline like this, and have your PowerPoint on this other section over here. And then you can actually have it so that so you just click on their slide and all this other stuff, and then if you do it quickly enough too, you can actually go like Alt Tab, I mean.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
And then you can just do it really quick, and then that way it won't miss a beat. I mean, when I did that PowerPoint presentation I don't think anyone ever noticed that I was Alt tabbing in and out of the screens.
Okay, thank you. I understand. That's great. Thanks.
And a question about the filters.
Mhm.
You mentioned, sorry, I kind of missed that one. I was playing around here, but you mentioned it has to have black and white. And is there like a place on the internet that you can grab some of those templates?
Back to testing. There is actually, you can, so you make like a mask filter like this, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. If you wanted to, you can actually look online and you should be able to find a mask filter like this. Or if you have paint, if you know how to use paint, you can actually make a filter for yourself too with funny little shapes. Any shape you want. As long as you have the black outline, like for the black area, so that's going to be the area that's cut off.
Yep.
Or I mean, and then the white area too, because this right here, this whole section was white, while the outside is all black.
Gotcha.
And so basically, as long as you keep with that color scheme, you can make your own mask filter if you want. And then in that way, you can go like right here, you can go filters, and then you can go mask filter, and then you go online and you can pretty much click on that. So I'll give you an example, like I said, here's the different. Like I said, that's what happens when you have the white on the outside, the black on the inside.
Gotcha. White on the inside if you're using it that way. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and it works pretty well too. So I'm going to go to my one thing I'll show you. So here's my Toastmasters screen right there. And basically that's what you can do with it, which is kind of fun, is now you can go like, that's all, folks. I'm not going to mention anything else. I don't know if that's trademark or anything. But basically you can go like this now, which is kind of fun if that's what you want to do. And that's basically, you use a mask and you can have a picture in the front. That's how I got this effect right here with the pictures too. This is what I meant by virtual background. The other thing is too, because I'm going to turn this off here just to make it easier. So as you can see, like once again, you don't need a green screen if you're going to use this as well, because everything's in the front.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay. So basically, that's all you can. That's basically what you can do right there. So once you get your camera set up, once you have your Zoom set up, now you can actually start having fun with OBS. You can make different little scenes, like I said. Then you can make groups. One of the things you can do is definitely do a window capture. And this is one of the things I like, is that you can definitely capture a window. So I'm going to call this Zoom. So now we can capture Zoom, the things right here. So if you want to, what you want to do is you want to go down here. And for me, I have to click on this one. For me, it's Windows Graphics. I think on Mac, it's going to be a little bit different. So if you want to click on that one, and that way you get this funny looking effect, essentially. If I wasn't sharing my screen, it would be totally different. But if I was, but for right now, so as I do that, now you have the opportunity to have a picture from, say, Zoom. And if you have a guest and you're doing this on OBS, now you can talk and have them at the screen up here. And this, you ever see those shows where someone has those, we have the guest speaker and you have it up there? Well, now you can do this with OBS as well. And that's the fun part as well about this, is that you can do things such as that. And then as you move to, from screen to, you can have one section right there with the Windows capture screen. You can have different things for that, and then you can definitely have that much more interactivity with guests. So you just go like this and say, hey, how's it going? And the person in the other window. And as you see, I still have issues with figuring out my left or right on OBS versus Zoom. But it's now you can have that definite interactivity. So, same more. Anyone else have any questions? Okay. So the next thing you can do is with this is definitely go over here, and you can actually make a text message too for this. So as you probably saw earlier, I had some text messages, saying like, I'm going for coffee. So this one here, I'm going to say, well, once again, I'm going to call it test text. Try saying that 10 times fast. Test text. And now you can pick your font that you want. And I'm going to leave it as Arial. And then you can definitely type in, let's say, this is a test. Click OK on that one. And there you go. You have your own little text right there. And as you can see, like I said, once again, as long as you have it in front of you, you don't need to have a green screen. So we're going to put that right there. And you're done on that. There's other features I will mention later on for that. But for now, we're going to leave it as is. So next, we're going to go to over here.
Oh, quick. Sorry, Dan. How do you edit it once you've created it? The text.
Oh, it's actually quite simple because all you do is you click on the test, this thing here again, and you can actually edit right here. So if you want to, like like I said, you can go like this is yeah, and then that, once again, you can increase it as you want. And there's other different ways you can shrink it down. Once again, I'll get into that a little bit later on. Now, and it's actually pretty fun. And there's other features, like I said, this is fun. You can actually select the colors from here as well. So let's say we want it to be red. Then you can. I usually like it white. White is a very neutral color. Unless it's against another white background, then obviously you want a different color for that. But you can definitely do all that right there. You can change the font from there too, by the way, as you want.
Perfect. Thanks, Dan.
So next up we're going to do is we're going to go over here, and let's say you want to, if you want to make a color source. So let's say you want to have a background behind there. So you can actually go like this, and you can actually click that. I'm just going to leave that as color source. Now what you can do is you can select whatever color you want. So let's say let's go with yellow. Yellow's fun. Go like that, and now you can actually shrink this down to any size you want, like that, and you can bring that text above it. And okay, maybe yellow wasn't the best choice of color with white. So we're going to use that trick I said earlier. We're going to change that back to red. There we go. So now you have a colored background, and this actually comes into handy later on too, if we want to have like a lot of little features. So if you have like a PNG background, like this, for example, the Toastmasters logo, you can actually use that background again. So I'm going to do this, and we're going to leave that color as is, and I'm going to just put that right there. Bring that into the group, because you can drag things into the group too, which is great. And then there you go. You have your Toastmasters logo in there. I'm going to shrink that down so it actually fits in there like that. And there we go. So the next thing you want, I'm going to show you too, is that with the color backgrounds, when you, I mean, I did this a little quickly, but when you click on the color source, you do have an option for the width. So you don't actually have to use the nubbies at all. But I like using the nubbies only because, you know, it allows me to, you know, adjust it the way I want. So the next thing I'm going to show you, though, because I got this up here right now, is if you want to, like, you know, definitely have fun with it, you can go here. You can definitely go to transform, and it's already stretched screen. But you click on stretch to screen. Now you have the opportunity to do different little things. Now you can go like this. You can actually play around with that. Instead of being like a stationary, kind of like how this background is. Because if I was to click that one, I can't, if I go up, as you can see, it gets, you know, it doesn't go anywhere. But for this, now you have free reign. You can definitely play around with it. And that actually works out pretty well for other pictures too. So if you want to, you know, play around with that, you can. So I'm going to get rid of that one right there. So one of the features that you probably see me doing a couple more times is, you know, deleting things. So what you want to do is you want to right click on this. Let's say you made a mistake, you added the wrong picture. Well, you can either change the picture or you can get rid of it entirely, especially if you want to make space. So you can go up here, click remove, and just click yes, and done. Let's say you want to organize this even more. So instead of test group, you can go up here, right click on that, and click rename. And we'll just call this test 1 again. So now you can definitely rename that right there. So that way you can organize everything you want. So like, for example, over here, if you want to rename that to, say, Toastmasters logo. So you have definitely free reign on what you can do with this. And you can even go like here, you can, once again, highlight that. You can make another group. And, you know, there's a call a group right there. And once again, now we can get rid of those things right as well. You can actually make a group within a group. Or not make a group per group. Drag these things out of the group. And once again, and like I said, now you can just have fun and go like this and pop everything out and out. And it just makes, and for me, in my opinion, this makes it the whole, you know, makes it a lot smoother and a lot cleaner when you do things. So whenever I can, I always try to put these into groups as best I can. And if you drag this thing out, your folder will still be there, and you can just easily remove it. And you can have it that way. And I think I saw someone join us. So hello again.
I think I'm late.
Yeah.
I'm from Calgary, so I must have been, you must have started at noontime Saskatchewan, did you?
Yeah, we started at 1 p.m. Saskatchewan time.
Okay. Do you have handouts?
Yeah, well, I have a handout for getting the basic stuff done.
Okay.
I was just going through this thing. I'm also recording the session, and I'm going to put it up on YouTube as well.
All right, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, but so like I said, so we got this right here. So if you have any questions, you feel free to ask too. I'm always open for it. So the next thing we want to do, let's say you want to add a clock. You can actually go up here. You can add a virtual clock on here. And there we go. This is always fun. That's actually one of the things I did for it.
I don't have that. Did you have to download that separate?
For me, I didn't have to download it. It came with it right there, but I'll have to look into that actually, because it's a lure clock. But if anything, too, you should be able to go to tools, or not tools, Yeah, tools, scripts. And it should be in here too, so clock source and whatnot.
Oh, I don't have that.
Okay.
So it must have been downloaded somehow.
Yeah. Well, I can always probably share it too, because one of the things you can do is, because OBS comes with its own little scripts. So if you click on that right there, so like I said, if you go, so I'm going to close this again to show real quick again. So you go up here, you go to scripts, and then you can click on the plus sign, and it should automatically come out to the script section. And from there, you should be able to click clock source lower if it's in there.
Yes. Now I see it. Yeah. So I just have to add those in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that way you can actually download more scripts, but I'm going to get to that one later on too, about the scripts things on the intermediate section. So
Dan, I have a question.
Hello.
So if a presenter in leadership training or keynote wants to put this clock on their own presentation running dynamically, how would they do that?
Running dynamically is that you can, well, you can definitely add it into your presentation if you want to. Like, so we mean that dynamically.
So like when they start, it's 00 minutes and then they have 20 minutes allotted, right? So it counts down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, if you want a countdown on that one's a bit more, one of the more advanced areas right there, because what you can for that. So I'm going to remove the clock right there, because when you want a countdown clock, so you're talking about like clock, like I'm going back to my presentation. You mean a clock countdown like this?
Yes.
Yeah, that one is going to be, that's well, actually, I'll just tell you. So I'm going to go back to the test thing. So I was saving this for the intermediate section. So
okay, yeah. I think so. It's I think it's intermediate. Today is basic.
Yeah, because I don't want to give everyone too much information right now. Oh, and welcome back, Laurel. But yeah, so like I said, that's going to be more intermediate right there. But but you can definitely add like a countdown clock on there as well. And those are, those are always fun. And if you want, you can add, and it usually goes up by minutes. But like I said, that's all intermediate section, so we're not going to get to that today. So the next thing we're going to talk about, if you want to, we're going to talk about that right there. You can actually add a media source as well. So we click on that. And from here, because this is where kind of gets fun. So for media sources, you can definitely click on that one. Go to videos. I think let's see here. Very good. I'm going to click on that one. And so for media sources, I mean, now you can have a video play as well. And this is like a, this is just like a, what you call it. Oops. And that's the, oh, there it goes. Something that happens, sometimes it glitches. And with the video over here, now you can have videos within your presentation. And I keep on clicking the wrong button. Okay. And we're going to get rid of that one right there again. I'm just going to re-add it. But like I said, you can actually, same thing. You can name it any way you want. You can do all this sort of stuff. You can shrink it down. But this makes it so that way you can talk about something in the video. I think I know what's going on. So
my stuff on my screen is all changing order and going behind all the time.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that happens sometimes is that your camera might go and keep going in front. So that could go like that sometimes. And the best thing you want to do is just make sure your camera is, if you want your stuff in front of you, make sure you move the camera directly to the back. So, does anyone else have any questions?
For that media source, can you add, say, like a YouTube video?
Oh yeah, you can definitely add a YouTube video, but it won't be through the media source. There is actually, where to go? And this one here is going to be more into the intermediate section, just so you know, but you can definitely add a browser into here.
Okay, cool.
And then you can add other stuff too, like audio. You can see right there. But most of the stuff, it's going to be all, I'm going to talk about more about this in depth when it comes to the intermediate.
Okay, so now that you've inputted that video into your presentation, how do you play it? Like,
okay, so yeah, well, what you could do is like, so once you get this video in here, you can actually, you have a little control over here, and you can go like, you can play, you can pause, you can stop it, and I can restart it again. And also too, if you click on properties, you can actually click on this button here to make it go into a loop.
Gotcha.
And
Okay, so every time you have something, if you click on it and make it red outline, you got to watch that kind of the properties bar right at the bottom there, because that's where your functions are, right?
Yeah,
and your editing features. Okay, I'm just getting used to the screen, so that's cool.
Yeah, and then it goes for everything too, because you can go like this. You can go properties. You can definitely hit all that stuff right there. But one of the things I like about Zoom is that, not Zoom, OBS, is that you have this, like you have this thing here. So if you like, functionality to play, like I said, you can just change the color source from there too. So it's like all at your fingertips right instantly. So you don't have to waste your time going into the properties to change, say, the color of the background, right?
Right.
And that's one of the things I like too. So you can definitely change filters for everything. Like I said, you can all the way at the fingertips and such. So, and for here too, like with the, I'm going to do this again. So for some people, if you want to, you can add a mask to this even. So we're going to go back to browse. We're going back to desktop. You're going to go here and there we go. Now you can definitely shrink that down, and you can definitely see where the fun comes into play. And you see that the video does play still on the back right there. So it's very interactive. You can definitely interact with people a lot more with this. And like I said, you don't need I know I mentioned this like multiple times, but you definitely don't need a green screen to have this to interact with people at all. Everything is just so, I'm going to take off the mask here, and there we go. So everything's all interactive, and you can definitely interact with everyone. Does anyone have any other questions?
I just want to mention, I didn't know what this was about up till an hour ago, but after seeing what you do, I can definitely understand how I could incorporate this, not just in Toastmasters, but most definitely in my day-to-day work, my government job. There's so many things here that I didn't know existed. So I'd like to thank you for doing this so that it can help me grow.
You're very welcome. And as you can see, it's fun. And I love, if anyone who knows me knows I like having fun and like doing things like this. And yeah, you can definitely use this for any way. I mean, you're not restricted at all. One of the other things you can definitely do is because like say, if you go to video capture device and you go here, you can actually, if you had snap camera, like the other device that I sometimes use, you can use snap camera with this, or if you have different things. So these right here, I'm going to be more talking about in the future. But the reason why I brought that up for us because I wanted to, just reiterate the fact that how fun this is, and once you get really into the meat and potatoes of the whole thing, it is phenomenally great to use. It is very helpful in everything else you can do. It's definitely makes your presentations 100% more interactive and better, in my personal opinion. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yes. I do a lot of social media posting. Am I able to use this system to make videos?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because on this thing right here, you actually do have a start recording. And if you wanted to stream, you can. Because you have a little stream key right here. And what you can do is you can actually go in, and I'm going to talk about more like that with the intermediate section about recording, about the streaming section. But if you want to stream on YouTube, Facebook, on Twitter, Twitch, you can definitely use this to OBS on its own to stream, or you can use it to record things as well.
What about how making an ad video?
Oh yeah, well you can definitely use this to make an ad video. Like you see right here, it's that I have all these things right here I have a video. There we go. See, like I said, I still have problems with my left and my right when I'm doing this. But as you see here, I have a video playing up here. So if you want to do an ad video and you want something in the background playing, then you could definitely do that too. Because right now it's that I'm not using my green screen right now because I'm staying with the basics. But if you want to, I'm going to, a little bit of a heads up for the future when I do the intermediate OBS, is that you can use something called a Chrome key to get rid of your background and add a virtual background to yourself if you have a green screen.
All right. I'm sure this will come up again. So I'll let you carry on with the basics.
Oh yeah, but no, like I said, questions are always great. You never learn anything without asking questions.
That's true.
I think someone else was going to say something, or maybe I was wrong.
Well, I just was mentioning I shared my screen, so I tried to start my video, but I actually had to switch it to the OBS virtual camera. And then it started working with the OBS.
So I'm going to stop my screen real quick right now. So I'm going to open the floor to anyone else who has questions, or if they want to, share their screen a little bit more. If you want, if you want help with it too. But for now, though, that is basically all the basic stuff I do have to say. For anyone who's joined us right now, I do apologize. It's the time was supposed to be 1 p.m. Saskatchewan time. So that's 1 p.m. CST, and it was supposed to be 12 p.m. MST. So
I'll make the change in the calendar for next week.
Okay, yeah, because I know on the poster I have that I shared, it has all the time frames I have for in CST and MST.
Okay.
Yeah. So
May I make a suggestion on the time zones for time idiots like myself? That you say Regina time or Sask time or Alberta time as well as CST and MST, because I just can't. I'm sorry. I just for some reason can't get it through my head until I figure out if this is Saskatchewan time or Alberta time. I'm just maybe slow that way, but it really is beneficial to me And I'm sure I can't be the only idiot in the world. I can't get time zones.
You know, instead of, you know, I don't think you're an idiot. I think it's more like, well, like, you know, it's mixed up, confused.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to get it. If I haven't gotten it by this age, I don't know. It's bizarre. I just can't figure it out. Unless somebody says Saskatchewan or Alberta, then okay, now I know where I'm at.
Okay.
Just a suggestion. Maybe I'm being crazy. I don't know.
One worse. All right. Yeah, we'll definitely have that on there. So, does anyone have any questions?
Daniel, have a question. How do I do that with the virtual camera? Yeah.
Oh, so because if you have, you have OBS and your virtual camera on, right?
I'm not sure. I haven't downloaded the virtual camera, and I don't know how to do it.
Or you haven't downloaded virtual camera yet?
No.
Okay, so if you don't have virtual camera, you can still do it another way. The only reason why, like I mentioned this earlier, the only reason why I like having virtual camera for the OBS virtual camera is so that I can still switch from one profile to the next. The profile section I'm going to talk about more in the intermediate section. But for now, though, if you want to use virtual camera, you can actually click Start Virtual Camera.
Yeah, and I lost this part of the screen which you just showed where the virtual camera, and I don't know how to get it back.
Okay, and then, yeah, because what you want to do is you click on your Zoom, you want to click on your camera here, and then you have the virtual camera right down here.
It doesn't show me that in Zoom.
Oh, it didn't show you at all?
No.
Okay, so probably because is your Zoom updated?
Not the latest version, like.
Okay, because I think you might have to update your Zoom.
Okay.
As well. So.
And on the OBS screen, you showed where you can click on virtual camera on the right. Yeah, here I don't see that. How can I get this part of the screen back?
Oh, it should be on there because I know.
Yeah, it was there, but I lost it.
Oh, you lost your controls?
Oh, control! I got it. Yeah. I have it.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say if you lost your controls, you can actually go up here to view, and you have your docks.
Okay.
And that one right there, you can actually choose what you want for dock things. And I wasn't going to talk about that just yet because I need content when I do intermediate stuff.
Awesome,
yeah,
thanks.
Yeah, but yeah, that's that's how you get your controls back on there. And then I would like to say I'm going to go into more in depth for that section right there next on intermediate stuff.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, does anyone else have any questions?
What's the different? What makes the virtual camera special? You probably mentioned that at the start of the meeting.
Well, no, what makes a virtual camera special is that it allows you to, without having the OBS virtual camera installed. But like I said, I mentioned this before, is that I don't like using virtual camera because it prevents me from using profiles, from switching back from one profile to the next.
Okay.
And actually what it does is that it, like I said, it blocks you from doing that. And I'm going to talk more about profiles at a different time at the different workshop, intermediate, because that one right there, that's open a whole ball of wax, and that'll take me another another half hour just to explain all the things you can do with profiles and how they all works and whatnot. But it, like I said, it just prevents you from using it. So I always like having OBS virtual camera.
Okay. I'm sure you will go more in depth at 12 o'clock Alberta time next week.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Remember, 12 o'clock Alberta time. And as for Avesna, yes, this session is recorded. And you will be able to see me and my jerking, my nervous talk, I guess you can say. So, but, am I all my glory?
I have a question, Dan.
Yep.
So now that like we were playing around with stuff and we've created something in OBS, how do we like? I know I closed out of it and it kept this thing the same, but how would we set up like separate scenes? Is that something? Sorry, separate. Like, what if I wanted to start something new? Where would I save my old one? Because it doesn't seem to be like a save as or.
Okay, so you mean like a scene like this, or are you talking about like a scenes collection?
Well, I don't know. Like I was working on this and I've got the 2 scenes that I created. I closed out OBS and I opened up again and it came right to the same, like the scenes are all saved. They were all in there. But like what if in the future I want to create a new thing? Like how would I save this old one that I was working on so I could start new from scratch?
Oh, okay. That one right there. And you people will keep asking me things I'm hoping to say for intermediate. But no, that's okay. It's okay. Like I said, asking questions is okay. It's but what you want to do, like you come up here and you want to create a new one, and you can actually, and you should have one up here automatically. And I forget what it's going to be named, but you can actually create a new scene if you want to, like a new scene collection. So it's kind of like how I was switching back and forth between presentation like that to test.
So you need to have an import button there too. So like, could somebody, like if Dan, you created a template, could you send that to me and you could export it out and I could import it into mine?
Oh yeah, I can just go like, so if I want this one here, I just go like export and then I save it like this. So I'm going to save it to my desktop. I'll put it in here, test right there. So, and I just go like that. And then that way, if I want to import it, I just pretty much go back to that thing right there as well.
Right. So say if we wanted to have like a template that the district, like people use it doing district videos would always use, instead of them recreating it, you could just send it to them and they can import it for their starting point.
Yeah, and then it'll be like one package too, because you got, if I do it that way, you still have to have the same pictures and videos and whatnot to go with it, so that works correctly. But once that's all done, then you have a template for everything, pretty much. You have your, like as you mentioned, you have your Toastmasters, template.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's so we're gonna switch back over there, back to testing. So yeah. Anyone else have any questions?
When do you think you'll have up the recording on YouTube?
I'm gonna actually work on it. Like once I'm done the session and once I'm done recording, I'm gonna put it up as soon as I can.
Okay.
I mean, it takes me a while to to edit the videos because I gotta edit the video, add the beginning parts, and then I got to that's a whole different ball of wax for me explaining, but
fair enough. I understand.
But it shouldn't. But like I said, I'll put it up as soon as I can.
Okay.
I'll definitely have it up before next Saturday.
All right.
Anyone else have any questions? I'm watching Catherine right there. She has a video playing.
Oh, I'm just playing with the transitions.
Yep.
And, just playing around with how to transition scenes, and there was a video option, so it just went straight to my video. I think I have to wait until it's done before it'll transition. So it's like a video in between each of the scenes.
Okay.
That's the only video I had was my daughter's band concert. There we go.
Proud mama moment.
Okay, so I'm going to put the, I do have a download, like a PDF. I'm going to put it, oops. I'm only sure it's one person. I'm going to put the PDF into the chat function right here. So this is the basic setup. So this is like the basic, you know, getting your camera and whatnot hooked up and everything. So there we go. So that's the PDF of the basics that I have. It's shared in the chat function. It goes over almost everything we went through. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for that.
And it goes over pretty much like almost everything. There are some things I didn't add in there that I kind of goofed. But if you have any questions, if you just joined us, definitely, you know, ask away. I can probably go over other things again if you want.
I had a question. I kind of was playing around while you were talking about transform. What was the purpose of that?
Transform right there. So basically, so if you're going with I'm going to get rid of this background here. So if you're going for a transform, I'll get rid of that too. So transform, basically what it does is that it allows you to transfer in your picture. So if you want yours to be, you know, if you want your screen to be fit the screen, then you can. If you want to have it stretch the screen, then you can. And now I look a lot bigger than I am in real life. And one of the things I like about this is that now I can go to my ideal weight. Look, now I'm skinny again. I'm like I'm back in high school. This is great. But then you can just you can go like that. You can transform and stretch or fit screen. But the other thing is you can actually edit. And this right here is that you can actually do the position. You can rotate it so that way you can rotate your screen. So it's actually, as you can see, I'm now on a tilt as if I'm on a hill. You can definitely have fun with all that right there. So if you can go like that, and then you can position it. You can increase the size if you want to. I'm bring this right back to where it was before because
sideways.
Yeah. It's always fun. It's like, hey, look that you're on the wall now.
Okay, funky.
Yeah, and that's that's one of the things I like about Transform is that you can have you can have everything just like pretty fun. So if you want to flip, like if you flip your things, you can go to edit. You can even copy a transform, and that basically copies whatever you have on there. And then you can just go over here, and then you can paste that transform. So I'm going to do this right here. So I'm going to get the video capture up there. Oh, what's the wrong one? Not video capture, media capture. There we go. So you can go up here, transform, and you can definitely play around with it. So let's say edit. I'm going to rotate this like that. And then, so let's say you want this screen here to be that one, but you don't want to muddle around with, figuring out the numbers exactly. Click copy, go up here, click on that, go to transform, and then paste. And now you have that exactly, and then you can change the size.
So it matches.
Yeah. So now you can, and that's the other thing that you can definitely do is you can have fun, and you can. And that's, I mean, I like if it's fun, I play around with it. And now you go like, I want a water slide. Whee! Oh wait, that's the wrong way. It's that way. I want to slide. So I'm gonna put my thing back to where I like it. Fit the screen. There we go. And there. And I'll just leave that the way it is. I like that. Nothing wrong with having a other video. As you can see, too, like I said, as long as for those who are new, as you can see, you can put things in front of you, but you can't put it in the back of you if you don't have a green screen. It won't work. But you can definitely have it in front of you. As you can probably see what Catherine did and what I'm doing is that, you know, you have it all right there. And if I can actually get my coordination on this done, you can actually make cool effects. So if I want to, like that. So this, the whole thing is completely fun to do.
I have a question.
Yep.
So if anybody who has OBS could use with the video settings in Zoom could use the OBS camera, and everybody, like Catherine has it now, and she has that without needing to share screen, right? Everybody could display something, like one person could have an agenda in the background, the next person could have a clock, and the grammarian could have the day of the word of the day.
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of the advantages of this right here, because now you can definitely share the screen. So as you can see right there, if you have the word of the day, boom, you have it right there. So let's say how you spell that word good? Expeditious. I probably spelled it wrong, but that's basically, you know, as you said, you can, if you're a word master of the day, you can share it up there now with the definition and everything, and you can have it like a whole dictionary, and then you can have yourself on the side with your word right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you can even have a picture to go along with it too. Unfortunately, the picture I have is not the exact picture to go with it, but it's, you know, but actually you can play with the layering too, because, you know, just like if you're doing a paint shop program, you know, there's layers, and you can do different little layering if you're drawing pictures, you know, and that's one of the advantages of OBS is that you can definitely do layers, and then you can definitely have that presentation for you when it comes to, you know, making words and doing other things. So like you said, word of the day, advertisements, and all that.
This is great, Dan.
Anyone else have any questions?
In the event posting for these sessions, like, do you have kind of what you're going to cover in the next two sessions?
Not in the next two sections, but I'd probably give Kevin. I'd probably give you the information on what we're going to be covering next.
No, I just mean for like an agenda. Like we went over, like what we went over today, we did like a few things, and that's in the basic handout. But if you can list in the event calendar what you're going to go over in the next session, and maybe even provide that as an outline for the start, so we kind of know what not to ask you about or what will be coming in the next session.
Oh yeah.
Like just a brief outline, I think, of the things that you're going to be covering.
Oh yeah, I can definitely do that actually, because then as you see, I don't do these workshops very often, so.
For sure. Well, you did a great job, but it kind of sounded like you had a plan. So if you have and especially now that you've done the first one, you know, what will you plan in the second one and the third one? You can get that in the agenda or like in the event calendar, just so we have an idea.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that.
That's awesome.
And then we can make more advertisement and tell people how great it is.
True. So, does anyone else have any questions? Like, if you want, I can actually go over some of the basic stuff that I went over, especially if you're just joined us.
Going back to what Catherine said about the updates or the the session agenda, they're pretty tight. They're pretty restrictive on what we can put into the event details. But if you send those to me, then I can get I can put them into like Facebook or LinkedIn post, so then people can see them that way.
Well, and I'm just thinking, like, if there's 5 things, just a list of the 5 things that we're going to be covering. Nothing fancy.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. And okay, Ruby. Well, thanks for coming.
I'm definitely going to be sharing this video with like folks, like Lynette said, even folks at work.
Me too.
We're starting, like, and I don't know if I'll have to talk to our IT department if they'll allow us to download this on our systems.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed pretty unobtrusive. I don't know. I guess it's sharing with cameras and stuff like that. That might be a barrier in our organization, but I'm going to put the pitch in now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I like about OBS is that it's open source, but you can use it off the internet or not too, and those functionalities will always be there, even if you're not connected to the internet or not, because you can still record with it, obviously.
What I would like to do, what I'm going to do for my work, because I have the same issue as you, Catherine, I don't know if I can download, so I'm going to record presentations off my home computer and then show them at my work until I know for sure that I can download it on my work computer.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
There's always a workaround. If you want something, if you want innovation, there's always a workaround.
That's true.
It feels like the whole last 12 months.
It's only been 10 months, folks. Right?
True.
I don't know.
What is it?
It's been too long. And
10 years, I don't know.
Yeah. Why do we call it a mask? That's my question to you. You're saying you want to make a mask, and every time somebody says the word mask to me, I think of putting my mask on to go outside to the store and not being able to breathe. So why do they call that a mask?
You talking about good clarification on this. You mean the mask in OBS, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
That's why. I was like,
Yeah.
Why are they calling that a mask?
Well, with the mask in the OBS right there is that essentially because you're putting something over top of your video already. So it's kind of like putting something over your face, but you're putting it over your video itself. So
Okay,
it covers.
I get it.
So it kind of cuts out the different areas. I don't know why they didn't call it a cutout, but
Or a frame, or I don't know. I just was wondering. I was like, I kept thinking, I thought he was going to put a mask on his face.
Oh no, actually, I got my mask right here. Actually, here's my mask. I'm going to do it. There.
Dan, do you want to show us the Toastmaster? You often have a kind of a banner at the bottom of your screen when you're joining our meetings or Toastmaster Club meetings. Can you show us that and kind of what went into creating that?
Oh, this right here? Oh yeah. So basically, I used the basic stuff that I used, and what I did was I took the logo, and you can get the logo offline, off the TI website, and this right here, you can get that off the website as well. But what I ended up doing was I stretched it out, because basically at first it came like this. So I'm going to move that around. I can fix this later.
Yeah, because they got lots of visual elements on the TI brand portal that you could. So you just basically stole stuff from there.
Yeah, and like I said, and then you have this right here, and then it usually comes like the other one right there. So as you can see, I have this nice little stretchy right there, so I can go over there. But usually this is what it came with, right, as well. And what I did was I took that, and I keep clicking the wrong one. Give me that other one. So you can go like this, the image right here, and then you can drag that down there, and this is all I did. And I just stretched it out so that way it's. And when it comes to this thing, I like stretching out just a little further than it should be, and then I just fiddled around with it, and I made it so that this section, this line right here, is just attaching that, touching that part right there. and then I put the text and I put it over here, and it gives me that thing right there. And the best part with this too is that if you're, as you can see, I have the text saying, "Be right back, ready for coffee." And that's another thing right there is that, you know, if you have the word of the day, you could do things like that. So if you have the word of the day down below, you can have the, you can have a little message saying, like, if someone asks, like, for example, where's Dan? You can put down, you can put a little message telling people, like, where you are exactly. Like, for example, I went for coffee. So, and that's basically what it all went into making this, into this little banner right here is the, you know, I went and I got stuff off the site for the Toastmaster logo stuff, and I made myself a nice little banner right here. And once again, like I said, this is what I normally or I always use. And
how do you crop again?
Okay, so basically, so cropping is you want to select the item, and what you want to do is make sure you go to transform.
Transform.
Yeah. Okay. And then select stretch to screen, and the stretch to screen is what's going to let you make it more moldable, as I call it, and that way you can stretch it out and then do other stuff.
Oh, it went goofy. But how do I crop? Like, I want to get rid of this white space. How do I crop? For
cropping right there is you want to make sure you get on there. So, and you want to click Control, and not Control, Alt. I mean,
Alt.
Yeah, and then it should be able to crop that section down there.
So I hold down Alt while I'm doing that.
Yep. And you click the nubbies, and then you'll be able to crop it.
It's going stretchy. Why is it doing that?
Oh, whoops! I forgot to mention to you. Okay, this is what happens with me. Like, I get ahead of myself sometimes. Actually, fit to screen first.
Okay, so I fit to screen. Okay.
And then you can. Hang on. Why is that working for me?
What happened? Okay, fit to screen. And then?
Yeah, and then hang on. And then you should be able to use Alt and should be able to. There we go.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta go get some better images from TI.
I'm gonna I'll fix that later.
Cool. Yeah. Well, that's goofy. Why doesn't it just have a crop?
It does have a crop. It's just that I'm being goofy. Actually, I keep forgetting. It's like, okay, what do it? I'm putting it back on again because it should be working actually. Because normally you're supposed to push Alt. Why am I doing it wrong? No.
I can do it with Alt and move it.
Yeah, because you should be able to do that. Where is it? Anyway, so but
well, that works. So Alt and scroll works.
Yeah.
Nice.
Put it back to where I was. So yeah, that's basically what you want to do. So you just have it, just stretch it out that way and do, because there's areas that you can crop it. Unfortunately, I goofed. So when you go in here too, you can go like here we go. I remember. So as you can see, I went into the transform. So I went into screen and this crop, but it should work with pushing Alt. But I think stretch to bounds right there. But I'm going to get more into that right there when I talk about intermediate.
Okay. Yep.
Because like I said, you can get into the whole things and start talking about a whole lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
does anyone else have any questions? Because right now we're into the section where everyone who has any more questions, you can ask more, and I'll be glad to go.
Thank you very much, Dan. It was good, really good. I'm gonna play around with it.
Okay.
Okay. See you later. Bye, guys.
See you.
Have a happy birthday,
Bye.
Bradley. Don't do too much today.
Thank you. No. Yeah, same here, Dan. I'll be heading out. I'll play around and see what I can do with this. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I have one question, Dan.
Yeah.
If I click on Start Virtual Camera, should I see myself in my OBS screen?
Yeah, you should be able to see yourself in your OBS screen.
I don't.
Let's test real quick. So, and it's, did you make sure you had your camera in there, right?
Oh, no, probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where do I do that? In Sources?
Yeah, you go to Sources and you click the plus sign.
Yeah.
And then you click on Video Capture Device.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and then make sure your camera is off on Zoom, though, because the computers are kind of weird that way. They kind of fight with like, no, this is my camera. No, this is my.
So what do I need to do?
Make sure your camera is turned off on Zoom.
Turned off on Zoom. Okay, got it.
And then on then turn your camera on OBS.
Yeah.
Are you going to be showing us the image slideshow
Oh, got it.
in another session? Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Hey.
So now start your video in Zoom. You have to select the OBS virtual camera.
I can't see it. Probably, as Dan said, I don't have the.
Oh, you didn't
newest-
download it. Did you download
I don't have. Oh no, didn't download it, and I don't have maybe the newest Zoom version. So, but I can get that.
I don't have a very new computer either. But once I've downloaded the virtual camera, I had to shut down my studio to install the camera.
Okay.
But once I did that, then it started working.
I do that later. Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. That was very interesting.
Oh, I really appreciated you walking us through this because I've been in here numerous times and I just didn't know where to start at all. It was like, there's just so many buttons. Like, what do you do? And I'm just like, what's this audio mixer that's like right in my face? I don't get this. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, like I said, once you get used to it and once you get into the meat and bones of it all, it's fun.
You can spend a lot of time, hey?
Oh, yeah. You can spend a lot of times. You can have like a fun little virtual background behind you too, once you get to that as well. And because I don't actually use Zoom's virtual background anymore, personally myself, I use OBS's backgrounds, but it doesn't mean I can't use my virtual backgrounds in the thing in Zoom, because I can just do my virtual background right now, and I'll start it off. As you can see, I can still use my virtual background. But if you have anything green on your thing, it disappears. And of course, the yellow kind of meddles around too. So that's why I kind of don't use the virtual background in Zoom, because that's what I meant by your green screen. If you have anything green, it acts like a green screen for Zoom. But
seems to work on mine here.
Oh yeah, I see your because your banner right there. Now it's a.
Oh yeah, it turns everything OBS.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah. Okay, yeah. That doesn't work very good.
And
Because my background's blue. So.
Yeah. I mean, on the flip side, though, it kind of gives you like a little, like, fun and little sense too. Because if you want to have your background, like your virtual background for that part right there, it can work.
Okay, I think I need to go as well. Thank you very much, Dan. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
See you soon.
Yep. Have a good afternoon.
I was going to stick around and play for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to stick around too, especially if you have any more questions and whatnot. Allie, did you have any questions?
Not really. I just wanted to see like what the workshop is about and stuff. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's OBS is a very thing. I mentioned this earlier. OBS is, it's like a. I'm trying to figure out if this is politically correct or not to say, but it's a poor man's version of a studio, of a television studio. You can definitely do a lot of things with it.
Yeah.
You can make scenes, you can add sceneries, you can do all this stuff. And as you saw earlier, I don't know how long you came in here, but you can have.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. It's as this because you probably saw earlier is you can make the word of the day up there too if you want to, and you don't need a green screen behind you to have things in front of you, as you can tell.
Oh, you don't? I thought you did.
Well, yeah, no, well, not when you have things in front of you like this right here. This is basically what it is. It's kind of like a frame or having a filter. So as you can see, as you see with Catherine right there, she doesn't use. She doesn't use a green screen, but she still has stuff in front of her.
Yeah.
Which makes it really great to utilize for different things. Especially for people who don't have green screens. Now you can still interact with people in a fun way.
Okay.